I was thinking about this last night. Do you have time for a 4-minute story? I'm going to tell you a 4-minute story anyway. Okay, I was thinking about this last night. There are 2 parts. There are 2 pieces. There are 2 pieces to this puzzle. Now, when I was a kid, when I was a kid, 12 years old, I grew up in a town called Puyallup, Washington. And at that time, it was a small town, or what I thought was a small town. There was probably 5,000 people in it. And maybe it's a big town to some people that grew up in real rural areas. But so I'm 12 years old. It was like a Saturday. It was a beautiful, crisp day. It was 12 years old. I got up in the morning. It was a huge day. It was a huge day for me. I knew it. I was up in the morning. I was going downtown. We lived about 3 miles from downtown, which if you're from around this area, our downtown of Puyallup, Washington at that time looked a lot like what the downtown of Franklin looks like, a couple streets and a couple streets of 2-story buildings, and that was about it. And Puyallup, Washington, I get up in the morning. Man, it is the big day. I am 12 years old. I am on my 3-speed Schwinn bicycle. I've got my little lock on there. I've got a pillowcase wrapped around my handle. I am pedaling 3 miles downtown. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I've got to be there at 10 o'clock in the morning. So I pedal downtown. I get downtown. I get that 2nd Avenue. This is going to happen on 1st and Main. I get to 2nd Avenue, and there's like, in the whole town, there's 5,000 people maybe. Well, I get down there. I'm on 2nd Avenue. The streets are packed with people, wall to wall. It's like all of Puyallup and half of Seattle and Tacoma are in this area at this time. So I'm on 2nd Avenue. I find a cyclone fence of an old abandoned parking lot or something. I get off my bike. I take the little combination lock. I lock the thing up. I grab my pillowcase. I'm 12 years old. I'm running down, and pretty soon I'm bumping my way trying to get through the crowd, because 12 years old, you can't get through a crowd that well. There's thousands of people all around here. But I've got to get to the right place. I've got to get to the right place, man. I'm 1st and Main, and all of a sudden I'm there, and there are thousands of people around me, and we're waiting. We're all waiting, and all of a sudden we hear it. We hear this rumble, this kind of rumble, and then everybody looks up in the sky, and we hear the rumble. All of a sudden, this helicopter comes over the 2-story buildings. This helicopter's coming over, and it kind of stops and hovers right above us, and it's all of a sudden it's quiet, but then everybody erupts into a cheer. The helicopter, then we're looking up and we see, you know what those little dandelions where they turn white, and you blow on them and a zillion little dandelion things come out. All of a sudden we started seeing that come out of the helicopter. Coming out, they're floating through the sky. Well, what it was thousands and thousands of ping pong balls were falling out of the sky. Now, they wouldn't do this in this day and age, because somebody get hit with one, they get sued for $1 million. Whatever. But these ping pong balls are falling out of the sky. They're falling on the ground. They're falling all over the place. And then all of a sudden, thousands of people are scrambling to pick up these ping pong balls. That's why I've got my pillowcase. I'm grabbing these ping pong balls and putting them in my pillowcase. So I don't know what I got, maybe 10, 12, 14 ping pong balls. Each ping pong ball had a little marker on it, a little marker, different color or a different symbol on it. And each ping pong ball, this was a local promotion of the local stores in the small town of Puyallup. You could take these ping pong balls and you could get like amazing prizes. Like you could get like a Baby Ruth candy bar for one. You could get a Hot Wheels for another one. Some of them you could get like a Barbie outfit for, which I traded for. And so anyway, so why am I telling this story? I was thinking about this last night after we had talked, and I thought, the taxi listings for me are like the ping pong balls dropping out of the sky, man. They are just falling out of the sky with prizes all over the place. They're just falling out of the sky. There are prizes all over the place waiting to be grabbed and to be picked up. But the other piece, suppose I stayed in bed that morning. Suppose I never got on my bike. I never got my combination lock. I never got my pillowcase. And I stayed in bed. The ping pong balls still would have dropped. They just would have dropped without me. You and I have to show up. The ping pong balls, the prizes, the listings are falling out of the sky. The opportunities in film and TV are falling out of the sky. That part is done. It's happening. It's going on. But we got to show up. We got to show up. We got to turn off the TV and show up and write something. We got to show up in our studio. We got to sit down and cut something, a guitar piece, a piano piece, maybe a bigger production, whatever. Maybe we grab some of our demos that we've done, take the vocals off, leave the vocals on, submit them. But we got to show up. We got to show up every day. And the more you show up, and the more you show up prepared with your pillowcase, with your bike riding down there, the more ping pong balls you might be able to grab. Okay, that's my little story.